Hey y'all. So, of course, you knew that I was going to do a video either today or tomorrow, but it's today. So, we have a verdict in the Derek Chauvin case, and he is guilty on all charges. Thank you, God, because that man that day had the devil in his heart, and only God was going to help us with this one right here. Because there was a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation about why he died, why George died, and things like that. And I'm glad that the truth came out and that the jury was able to see past the BS that the defense was trying to put up. If you notice, Derek Chauvin didn't act like he felt like it was a bad verdict. When they told him he was guilty, it didn't look like he flinched or was sad or cried or he sat there stone faced as if he knew he was guilty. He knew he was guilty. If you knew that you were an innocent person and you truly did it on accident, you would be devastated if you knew. You would be devastated if someone came back and said that you were guilty. But then again, they could be able to prove that you weren't guilty. But you were. And the thing that solidifies it is that even if everything else was justified, why, when even the ambulance came, was this fool still on George Floyd's neck while the paramedic was trying to get George Floyd's pulse? For the love of God, I do not understand that. That is some psychotic crap. And it took the paramedic to push him, like shove him, to tell him to get off so that the paramedic can begin to do his job. But by then, you could see, but they lifted George Floyd up, baby, he was gone. His body was limp, head was limp. He was gone. He was gone. So I knew you were guilty. They knew you were guilty. Everybody that was watching the damn trial knew that this dude was guilty after watching that. You really didn't have to put nobody else on the stand, but thank goodness they had great doctors that linked together. These doctors didn't even know one another, but they had it packed down on the cause of death, when he died, all this good stuff. Right now, I just feel happiness. Next, we have to continue to ask for police reform because that needs to happen. I know that people are afraid of that term, but you really shouldn't be afraid of that term. The police need to be reformed. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. They have a lot on their plates right now, and they really shouldn't be doing everything that they're doing right now. Like, yeah, they shouldn't be doing all that they're doing right now. Like, yeah. So maybe if we simplify their job just a little bit, take a little bit off their plates, they won't be so stressed and trigger happy, and they can be more satisfied with their job. We need to also do a little bit more training. That there is nothing wrong with that. I go through training with my job all the time, and we go through improvement trainings all the time. There is nothing wrong with asking for our officers to be up to par. What is wrong with that? I ask that of each one of my damn doctors, and they better be up to damn par if you finna touch Melanie Mason. So I want my officers to be up to par too, because you're going to be touching Melanie Mason, or you're going to be pulling over Melanie Mason, and I don't need you shooting her when you pull her over because you're nervous because I picked up my cell phone. So We need police reform. That's the next step. And let's just hope the violence stop on all ends. Black on black violence, white on black violence. Let's learn to just love one another. I know that it's unrealistic to ask for all violence to stop. I'm not that crazy. But I think we just all need to learn how to live with one another, learn to live with our differences. Stop hating gays, stop hating transgender, stop hating blacks, stop hating whites, stop hating people that are just different than you. Learn to live with each other and love one another. And guess what? You won't have incidents like this. It's much more easier. Like it's much more easier for me to love you than it is for me to hate you and fight you. Like, so much more easier. Like, I'd rather do that. Yeah. So I think America should be happy today. This is a win for America today because we got a monster off the street, away from our people, away from our children. I love y'all. Peace.